Well, good morning and welcome to Now Streaming Sports. We're reaching you live again from the capital city of Abuja here in our studios in Advent Cable Network Nigeria. I'm your anchor this morning, Chukwebuka, and welcome to sports. We will be talking about sports, talking about things happening around the world of sports. I'm talking about our expectations and disappointments and all you have in the world of sports in Nigeria, Africa, and in the world at large. So this morning I will be discussing sport with my co-anchor, Mr. Bulu. Welcome to sports.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ibuka.
All right. So, and I also have in the studio with me, Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo. Mr. Raphael Ojaokomo is a sports commentator. Mr. Raphael, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And joining us virtually this morning to discuss sports, Comrade Abraham Soko. Comrade Abraham Soko is a sports analyst. We also have Miss Happiness Ime. She's also a sports writer, and we have joined us another sports analyst, Dr. Desiri Izu, all joining us from on Zoom virtually. Viewers, remember to be part of this show by calling the number showing on your screen, or equally sending in your comment via various social media handle. So, my guest online, just to say a big welcome to you to the show this morning. So let's quickly look at the front page of the Punch Sports Extra. The front page of the Punch Sports Extra says closed window, Falcons miss opportunity to regroup as WAFCON draws closer. All right, that's the on the front page, and the main story is on page 6 of Punch Sports Extra. All right, just above the masthead we have I now to undergo scan Nuno, and that's on page 6. And page 2 has the story on I have everything to become world champion at Jagba. And page 7 now talks about Flick wants Lukman ahead of Diaz. That's a report, and find out the full details of that report on page 7 of the Punch Sports Extra. Alright, page 7 also have the story on Osimhen rejects Juve for EPL switch. And lastly on page 7 we have Simon Battles Hakim for Marcos Veni's full award. Alright, so by the side, we have the side street story. We have story on page 4. Chelsea versus Tottenham. Blues battle Spurs at Stamford Bridge. And page 5 talks about the story on Devils ponder easy move. Alright, we still have the story on Sancho wants Dortmund's return. That's on page 3. And the bottom strip story we have Ghana denies knowledge of Oloriwaju's deal to lose. And that's on page 2. And finally on page 2, Jovic sets NBA record in 61 points. How? Alright, so back here in the studio, remember I still have my co-anchor, and I have my guests for the show this morning, Raphael, Comrade Abraham, Happiness, and Dr. Izu. So let's talk about the happenings in Nigeria. Alright, just a couple of days ago, we have some program that keeps started in Nigeria in regards to the African women's club volleyball competition, which is going to take place from the 1st of April to the 14th of April at the Moshood Abiola Stadium here in Abuja. And the First Lady has showed her support, and the Nigeria Customs Service, the Controller General of Nigeria Customs Service, is also who's playing host for this event, has also come out to give us a whole lot of expectations, from which we're having about 24 countries coming into Nigeria to battle for the championship. And so, Rafa, what do you think about female participation or female volleyball in a whole?
Well, I don't think Nigeria has been short of female taking part in most of the sports. And if you even check, they are the ones that are always even making Nigerians smile the most. You know, from the recent breakout of the under-19 cricket team. Nobody ever thought Nigeria played cricket.
Exactly, that was the first appearance.
Yes, until our under-19 went to the World Cup. And now the men I think the men faced Kenya yesterday. I don't know the outcome of the game yet. So, but volleyball has been one beautiful sport that both male and female alike they do well in Nigeria. But it's been a while that we we see the country's team really, really go all out there. But it's a good one that we're having um, the country hosts a tournament. And I believe that one thing I'm sure for Nigeria is that whenever I want to host any tournament or we are playing hosts, we always make sure that everything is put in place and things all fall in place. And recently, we are hosting a lot of games. Just yesterday, I saw the opening ceremony of the Niger Delta Games,
Yeah.
which kickstarted yesterday, and the games will start today. So I think it's a good one for Nigerian sports because even this what's it called, um, Deco was there to open the games. It's a good one where you see very very young athletes coming out. At least it shows that the future of Nigerian sports is going to be a bright one. But coming to this volleyball tournament hosted in Lagos, I believe that everything is in place for us to have a good tournament. And like I said, in Abuja, okay, sorry, I think volleyball is one sport that has. If you go to some recreational centers in Abuja, you find volleyball courts and
Yeah.
what have you. So it's one game that is doing well in Nigeria, and we hope to start seeing our teams do well both in Africa and the world at large.
All right, thank you. So, Comrade Abraham Soko, the 39th Africa's Women Cup Championship is here in Abuja, is here in Nigeria, and Nigeria is hosting it after about 30 years difference. The last time we hosted it was 30 years ago, and so the stage is set and everything is ready to go. If the producer can just put up the schedule of matches, so you could look and say, what do you think about the performance? We have two clubs representing Nigeria, most especially that's the Nigeria Custom Service team, and then the naval team also representing Nigeria, cutting across so many African volleyball clubs from Egypt, from Cameroon, from Kenya, and what have you. I want to have your view about what's your expectation. What do you think will be the outcome of this year's edition, the 39th African Women's Volleyball Cup competition?
Thank you very much. From what I've gathered, four African countries will be representing Africa in this tournament. And as Mr. Rafi rightly said, volleyball is one particular sport that we have actually performed very well. Even the beach volleyball tournament, we actually do decently when we go to tournaments at the World Cup. So it is an opportunity for us to showcase our talents in volleyball. And I'm glad that it is being hosted in Moshood Abiola Stadium in Abuja. I'm glad that we have the opportunity to go and share our volleyball team live. It's a good one. So there's no downside to it. I just hope that the federations in charge will be able to give them the adequate financial support, moral support, to be able to perform very, very well. So I believe that we have an array of very, very amazing talent when it comes to volleyball. And I'm really, really optimistic on our chances of performing very, very well in this tournament. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Comrade Abraham Soko. So let's come to you, Miss Happiness. You are also a sports writer, and you've been participating in sport activities. So I want to find out from you: have you ever participated in any physical sport, like not just writing? Have you ever played a game, maybe swimming, maybe volleyball, maybe handball, learn tennis, or what have you? Let's find out from you why we get your view on the 39th edition of the African Women Club competition, volleyball competition.
Okay, for me, I'd say only for once I played handball
Oh.
just for fun. But volleyball, no, I'm not good with hand games, but I'm good with football. So I'm not good with hand games. But I think I fell in love with handball because handball you just have to throw. Unlike volleyball, you have to hit the ball and all that. So I'm not good with that. So I've actually played just handball, but for fun. So
All right, thank you. So, what's your overview of the 39th edition being hosted by Nigeria in collaboration with the Nigerian Customs Service and support from the National Sports Commission
Commission.
and the First Lady of the Federation?
Okay, it's actually a nice one because volleyball is one of the games, fastest growing games, yes, in Nigeria. And outside Nigeria, I love watching different diverse sports. And volleyball is also a game that Nigeria should venture into. So I love the fact that this 30th, right,
39th,
34th
39th edition.
edition is being hosted here in Nigeria and in Abuja. So it's a nice one. It will open up our young ones, yes. It will open up our young ones, those in secondary school, university, to the game and volleyball. It's a nice game. I remember that when the game was played during my time in NYC camp, yes. And they still play it in now in the NYC camp. And
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah.
sure most of these players must have been gotten from that. It's a nice game. It's going to open us up to it because volleyball is a game that Nigerians are really buying into. So it's nice. Because of that, now because of this, I'm going to follow up and keep up with this tournament this time. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Viewers, please remember that this action is happening here in Abuja in the Package B of the Moshood Abiola International Stadium. And feel free to be part of every of the game being played. We have ongoing right now, we have CFC of Tunisia playing against APR of Rwanda, currently ongoing right now. So if you're around Moshood Abiola Stadium and you're free, do drop in and watch the game. And we also have another game this evening where we have our own Nigerian Customs Service team play against their opponent at 5 p.m. today, West African time, at the Moshood Abiola International Stadium, indoor sports hall, please. All right, thank you. So let's now move ahead. Dr. Izu, so let me come to you and let's come with a fresh story, and we now talk about the World Cup qualifier. And Celia has come out to say we must beat them, and he reveals how Super Eagles can qualify for the World Cup. Let's have your analysis on this. Do you think we still stand a chance to qualify? And if we stand a chance to qualify, how possible is that? How do you see it happening? Dr. Izu, please.
Good morning, Sebuka Uncle and my other colleagues on the show. And then good morning to our viewers. I think I'm a man of faith. I just believe that the only route we have for the World Cup is through the playoff. And let's also remember that finishing second doesn't automatically guarantee a playoff spot. You have to finish among the four best second positions.
Sorry, Dr. Izu.
Some people, some groups,
can you mute your mic?
their third position already has more points than what we have now, and they still have more games to get more points. So even if we finish second somehow, we still have to finish among the top four second place finishers. And for me, that is not. I'm not so confident that we may even finish that second place because we are just suddenly somehow assuming we are going to win our remaining four games, which is not a good thing. You couldn't beat Lesotho in your home. Don't go away and beat them. You couldn't beat South Africa in your home. Not go away and beat them. This is South Africa that is hot. So it's for me. I think we should just give it our best shot. But the only route we have is through the playoffs. That's the best route. Otherwise, there's no way. I still think even if South Africa loses 3 points by the super petition or whatever, they will still have 5 points above us. So that 5 points must lose 2 games while we win all our 4 games. And you can't bet yourself that Nigeria is going to win all our remaining 4 games. Don't forget we play South Africa too. So I think we just give it our best shot and see if we can finish second. And then hope the other countries allow us to finish among the best second, 4 best places. But that's the same problem that we are facing. Look at the headline you give now about the women. Our women team doesn't have a coach. Our women team, 4 windows now, they've not played any match. And they will end up coming to start hoping on God again. And so I think we should just, we're not serious. We're not a serious country, particularly in sports. We take our we think too much for ourselves when others are preparing we are just joking, and then when you get to the little bit like we start hoping that other story for us to talk. So I don't see a way. I've just made up my mind that it is what it is. It will somehow make it then again God is in Nigeria, but if we don't make it, I will have no regret. Because like the coach has said, if you can't beat Lesotho, if you beat Brazil, you want to go and beat at the World Cup. You can't beat Zimbabwe, is it Germany or England, or who do you want to go and play at the World Cup? So maybe we should just take it out and let more serious countries go and do their thing. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Edisiru. So let's hear from you, Raphael. What have you to say about Chile's tactics?
Here's tactics. I don't know if I can say anything about tactics because I don't think we saw anything on the pitch on that day. Just felt like those guys went there to do whatever it is they know how to do.
And they performed well in Kigali. And
in Kigali, if you really watch the game in Kigali, I don't think there was a lot that you can pick from the game, even though, yes, we ended up winning the game by 2 goals. And if we really did a lot at Kigali, don't you think we should be able to replicate same in Uyo? So it's just like going onto the pitch and doing that, which, hoping that you get a good result. Like Dr. Izu said, I think our major problem comes from the body, that's the footballing body. Because you see how they handle footballing matters in Nigeria, and then you begin to ask yourself, are these people really serious at all? If by now the Super Falcons don't have a coach, and mind you, it took almost months before the Super Eagles had a coach, and then you now check the selection of players. You see players coming to the Super Eagles, and you're wondering what are they looking for in the team. Like you rightfully said, I think Nigeria right now is looking at maybe qualifying through the knockout stage, but then you want to check all the other teams that are in second position at the moment. Some have 11 points in second position, some have 12 points in second position. We have just 7 points. Do you understand me? And excuse me, for us to be able to make that second position, because what everybody is clamoring that South Africa will lose 3 points. Of course they will, because if points have been taken from other countries because of the same infringements, I don't think there will be any difference. But the thing again is, will you be able to beat South Africa in South Africa? Will you be able to beat Lesotho? Will you be able to beat Rwanda again when they come? Remember, I think we should stop playing Uyo. Because I can't remember the last time we got a convincing result in Uyo. I think maybe.
Well, the last time we also played at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, we lost. I think we drew against Ghana.
It was we drew against Ghana. We lost against Equatorial Guinea, I think so, and then went to their home to go and defeat them by the same scoreline. But the point is this: we need to have a footballing body that is intentional about football. A footballing body that carries the burden of the sport football. Whether you like it or not, this game has a very huge impact on the country at large and the citizens. So if you don't carry this game the way we the citizens look at it, we'll keep seeing mediocre performances week in, week out. Africa is not like what you have before, where you have Nigeria will just go onto the pitch. Like somebody said, that during the days of the glory days of them Yekini and the likes, 94 squad, we cannot be playing Zimbabwe and be scoring less than 3. Do you understand me? But football has gone beyond that. As we speak now, the group where Cape Verde is, I think they are the one topping the group at the moment, and you have a very strong team there. You also have a group where you have Senegal. Senegal is third on that group, and you're wondering, is this the same African?
How come?
Do you understand? How come are we having this? Do you understand me? We need to get to a point where we are intentional about the sport football and not just take teams. Don't be surprised. Lesotho can still come here and pull a draw. If Rwanda had come to Uyo and beat us here, South Africa came to Uyo and pull a draw. That's why I said I think we should change our stadium. Maybe we should go somewhere else and go and play. Maybe there's something about, maybe it's because Akwabi is fighting Natasha. Maybe that's why we're just losing that draw.
But we've not won any match before the fight between Natasha and Akwabi.
But this is it. I think we just need to have a body that's intentional about the footballing, the love for football in Nigeria, where we have credible hands as coaches in the team, while also having credible players representing the country.
What about credible officials like in the board and governing bodies?
That's why
their interest is also at play, and
that's why I said if we have
all that you've just made mention of.
If we have a body That's why I call the body. I didn't mention one person, but that is intentional about this footballing game in Nigeria. You begin to see things work where they don't have any interest. All this, I beg my boy go play. This one and my boy making day for the team. No, and then you want to bring a coach. I think it was Dr. Isu that made mention of it. Harvey Renard, the same man that took Cote d'Ivoire to win their Nations Cup, took Zambia to win their first Nations Cup back to back. Not like after he played 10 years. No, back to back. Do you understand me? And then what is it that this man is asking for that you cannot offer him? That you begin to bring every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the name. Now they ask the question, why do you have, why was Chile the best choice? Till now, nobody can answer that question. As we speak, nobody can answer that question. So it begs to tell you that people just do anyhow and hope that results will come out of it. And we've gone past that stage where we are working on based on prayers. Because even the Bible says faith without work is dead.
All right, thank you. So faith without work is dead. Let's go, Comrade Abraham Suko. Let me come to you now and find out from you in getting your view about what the Super Eagles senior coach has said. I want to find out from you: is there other stadiums in Nigeria where you think we can host matches aside from just in line with what Raphael has said, that maybe we're having bad luck on the soils of Akwa Ibom? So, do you think there are other available facilities across the nation? Could it be a Lobby Stars facility or Remo Stars facility or what have you, that we as a nation can go and play a national game? And don't you think, what do you think about us as a nation also developing other national facilities across the nation?
Thank you very, very much. I believe that we have other facilities that we can use. We have our national stadium in Abuja, which is like a central point for the country. I don't know the rationale behind moving our games from Abuja to Uyo in the first place. But I would want to agree that the issue with our national team is that of our stadiums where we play. I believe it is deeper than that. I believe that it is technical. I believe that it has to do with our approach to our matches. That is what I believe.
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I believe it's our approach to games. Mr. Raphael made some very, very critical points. Like when Eric Chell was appointed, I was really, really mad. I could not find the rationale behind that particular appointment, because based on records, based on pedigree, based on a coach who have coached and won things, he was lacking in these areas. So I did not really understand the rationale behind him coming to coach a Super Eagles team that was in a dire situation. But when the build up to the both games started, I was optimistic because the dynamics, the showmanship, and the love in the team was really well to do. There was a time they had a close session, and there was dynamic in that particular team, and it's that dynamic reflected in our first game in Kigali, and we actually won the game. Yes, it might not have been really exciting, but we were able to get the result. Well, coming back to you, which Mr. Raphael believed that is jinx, I think that we actually performed up to the latter stages where we just felt like a pack of cards. I was really sad, but I believe that everything still has to boil down to the coach we had at that particular time. We mentioned it last week. A coach should be able to read the game. When you know that, okay, it is time for you to just see out games instead of trying to get more goals, you get the result. All football matches have, not all matches have to be exciting. There are some times that you just have to grind your way to victory. Yesterday, I watched Liverpool, having gotten that first goal, they sat back and they just focused on getting the victory. That's what we would have done. So I still believe that we are lacking in all areas when it comes to the Super Eagles team. So it's not where we play. It's what we have to offer. That's the important thing, Mr. Ibuka. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Comrade Ibrahim Soko. Now, let's before we move away from the Nigerian stories, I'm going to come to you, Dr. Izu. Dr. Izu, while Comrade Ibrahim Soko was talking, making his comment, he said something. He said something about the kinetic energy or the dynamics that came out from the closed door section and from the training sections we had before the match in Kigali. So I want to bring up this story that says that Arokodare said that playing with players like Osime, Didi, and Boniface gave him an extra boost. Let's have your view about this comment, this headline, and let's know is this actually going to be in the right direction, or what do you think that the Super Eagles coach should do in order to inspire other younger players or other rising stars in the Super Eagles team?
But whether we like it or not, whether just the results are not going our way, so Osimhen is still one of the best strikers in Africa
True.
and even in the world. Let's not forget just the 2 years ago he was the African Footballer of the Year.
Yeah.
3 years ago he was the Golden Boot winner in Serie A, broken the African record set by Josué, who was the only African player to ever win Ballon d'Or. So normally without seeing not this morning, same thing with him. He's also playing the EPL, even though he's playing for the relegation bound team. But he has also shown versatility. If you watch Leicester very well, you see he plays both offensive midfield now, defensive midfield. So Nigeria has players that ordinarily everyone will look up to. See Ola Aina now is going to the FA Cup semi-final. So these are players that normally, just like the Bible says, iron sharpness iron.
Exactly.
So as a young player, play with these players, you look up to them, you want to learn from them. In fact, other countries do it. In 1994, Brazil took then young Ronaldo, about 18, 17, 18 years old, to the World Cup. He didn't play a single game. He just went there to learn.
Mm.
England did the same thing. They took the World Cup to 2002, 2006 World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. By then, I'd only played less than 5 games for Arsenal, just for him to go and learn. So sometimes being in the room alone with such players, you know, with such people, whether in academic or in any area, sometimes just being in that room, the aura, you have like, wow. If you go back some years ago, when David Beckham went to the US, and you know the US even has some um, off calendar with Europe. So I think during January or so they are on break because most players will come from US to have a short stint in EPL. And they can you hear me, please? Please confirm you can hear me.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Please go ahead. Go ahead. I can hear you.
Oh. Mr. Ibuka, please confirm you can hear
I
me.
can hear you. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So I said some years ago, if you look at the US league, because of the time zone and weather differences, I think around January, February, there are leagues on break. So some players come from there to either train with EPL teams or actually play for them briefly, like Thierry Henry and some other players. There was a time David Beckham came from LA Galaxy just to train with Arsenal, not play with them, just to train. Sex Fabregas, who was Arsenal captain, was leaping for joy like this I watch on TV. So if you think you can fact check, you can Google it, you will see Fabregas jumping with excitement on the training pitch like, wow, this is David Beckham. You know what David Beckham was those years now. So I agree with Aroko Dare on these dynamics and these vibes. But the problem is, I'm a physician. Giving drugs is not the issue. The issue is what is the outcome of these drugs you are giving. You are giving tablets, you are giving injection, you are giving drip, but the patient is still dying. Then something is wrong. Something has to be done. So having this vibe is fine. But what is the outcome of this vibe? How has it reflected on the pitch? How has it reflected on the results? How has it reflected on our position, both in the league, in the World Cup qualification standings, and even our FIFA ranking? And just to drop this point, Nigeria also has to start majoring in the major because currently we major in the minor things. In 2018 World Cup, we had the best World Cup jersey, get Billy, first round. So they will bring one, 90 will bring one Frank Bissina. Everybody will start hyping it. Yay!
All right. Thank you. I think the Nigerian factor has affected
That do
Doctor.
not really matter.
Okay.
When you now get to the
All right. Thank you, Doctor Izu. I hope to get more of your comments on the show. All right. So let's now move away from the shores of Africa. We know that the international break is over, and now my co-anchor will tell us about what's been happening or what has recently happened outside Africa.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ibuka. From the slums of Olusosun in Lagos, we have Victor Osimhen, who is now the poster boy and star boy for the Super Eagles and for the country at large. From a boy who ran on the streets of Lagos to becoming a national football asset worth over 79 billion naira in transfer fee. He might, at the end of the day, become Nigeria's most expensive transfer of all time. And we are having a 79 billion naira battle between the Champions League winners and holders of London, and the real owner of Manchester United, of Manchester City, Manchester United, rivaling each other for the signature of Victor Osimhen. And also we have the current African best player also on the table, looking to leave for over 50 million euros. And we're also talking about Ademola Lookman. And these are strikers who are currently on fire for both clubs and countries. And now we are seeing, European clubs vying for their signature, and we are hoping that they won't make any wrong transfer move that will bring a jeopardy to their career. So, Mr. Raf, 79 billion rand for Victor Osimhen.
We were speaking behind camera before the show started, saying Osimhen is enjoying his time. Yesterday is called a brace to take Galatasaray to the final of the Turkish Cup, beating arch rivals Fenerbahce. I think Osimhen is having a time of his life at the moment, and everybody is vying for his signature at the moment. The problem, like you rightfully say, is where will he pen that signature? And what will matter the most is what comes out of wherever he decides to go to. I remember the period when one certain Julius Agawa, excuse me, where he was on top of his game, and people like Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Arsenal, Manchester United, Juventus, these were clubs that were on fire then. AC Milan wanted his signature. Everybody were hoping that, okay, he will go there, he would go and shine there. All of a sudden, we heard that he was playing for Shakhtar Donetsk.
Yeah.
How do you marry the two of them? And then before you know it, I think it was Esperance of Tunis first, then Shakhtar Donetsk, and that was how the career went all the way. And I think one of the few players in Nigeria that have actually made good decisions. Even Okocha, at a point, everybody expected him to be with the big clubs, only for us to see him from PSG go to Bolton Wanderers. Do you understand me? Yeah. So making decisions has always been a big deal, and Nigerian players have not been on the good side of it. Although Osimhen moving from Lille to Napoli was a big one, and of course Napoli became a problem for him, and he had to go on loan to Galatasaray. We are hoping now that he will pick a team, that he will not just go there to just be a member of the team, but also make impact. Yes, because as it is right now, the two teams that have been mentioned are struggling with a striking position, Manchester United and Chelsea. So it's now about who wants it more. Who wants it more? If I were him, this is no hating at the moment. If I were him, I think I would pick United. I'm not a United fan. Reason being that if you check the last United game, you got to a point the coach had to field Maguire to play as the top striker. Yes. And there was a statistics that was brought out that the period with which Maguire was on the field, he had more attempts at goal than Højlund for more than 17 games.
Wow.
So now, even as the Man U is right now, I'm sure during the summer they'll do a lot of offloading, which means they need fresh leg and people with fire that want to push. Chelsea is also a team that is building and also need a front man that will get all the balls that come to them. And Osimhen is also somebody that can.
Nicholas Jackson is there.
Nicholas Jackson and Osimhen are not on the same radar, so it shouldn't be.
Mr. Ebuka, God is looking at you. God will judge.
Then
God will judge.
Ademola Lookman has not been a very, very good traveler. We knew how he went all the way in EPL, went to Fulham, went to, I think, even Charlton Athletic.
He was at some point in
Everton.
Yeah.
He traveled round and went to Leipzig also. I think when he got to Atlanta, something just clicked. And we are hoping that wherever he goes to, on my way here, I was listening to a report on radio talking about Hansi Flick of Barcelona, saying they want him because he played a kind of football, but they don't have the money to pay outrightly for him. They'll rather do that instrumentally. I'm not sure Atalanta will want to take that from them. My prayer is that they make the decision that would move their career from where it is
to a
higher level, and not when they go to a new club, we'll start looking for them all over again.
All right, thank you very much. And very quickly, we just move down to the Copa del Rey semi-final. You know, in the Spanish La Liga, we've always had every season different forms of a Clásico, either in the league, in the cup matches, or in various finals. And this season, we are also having it again, another a Clásico match. Some said, and are of the opinion, that ever since the departure of one of the two finest footballers of their generations, talking about CR7 and LM10, that El Clásico has lost that classy and classic touch.
El Clásico now is just
in 30 seconds.
El Clásico now is just a word. We don't see anything classic about the game anymore because you don't have Madrid is not your usual Galacticos anymore. Same with Barca, who are trying to just put two and two together. And again, you find out that every time Barca plays Madrid, is always one-sided. The game comes out with Barca winning. So I'm not a Barca fan. I'm not a Madrid fan. I'm also seeing this final going the Barca way again because Madrid, I don't think I don't know what's happening to them at the moment. They are struggling to get results, both home and abroad.
All right, thank you very much. We're coming back to Dr. Izu. Someone from the studio has thrown a shade, has thrown a bottle, and has thrown an axe. Dr. Izu, as a Madrid fan, Mr. Raphael said he doesn't see you, coming out victorious.
But it's the truth.
So at this point in time, I just want to be the middleman, the referee on this pitch.
Don't you think you should be on the sideline? Don't be.
I think that would be better. Being on the sideline would be better. So, Dr. Izu, as a lineman, Mr. Rava said he doesn't see Madrid coming out victorious in this fixture again, in this Clásico fixture. One, as the El Clásico really lost its touch, its fineness, and do you think you are seeing your team winning or coming out victorious in this particular fixture? In 30 seconds, let's have your view.
So, very quickly, I don't agree that El Clásico has lost its touch. There was El Clásico before Ronaldo and Messi, and there will always be El Clásico after Ronaldo and Messi. In fact, for me, what made those El Clásico of the last 10, 15 years hot wasn't really Ronaldo and Messi, but basically Mourinho. When Mourinho came, he brought war, he brought like in the Bosque, he brought the fight, brought everything. To the point he was even putting his hand in that post in the other coach's eye. And you can see that what he has done in talk just yesterday when he punched his opposite number's nose. So I think yes, Mourinho, Messi, and Ronaldo will be his main attraction, but that will be the service to likes of Pepe, Ramos, Dani Alves, Piqué, and others who made the Air Clasico like war or do or die. And I think the same thing has continued. I think those Air Clasicos are more about the fans, about the city
Okay.
rivalry, more than just the caliber of players. Now
All
that said,
right.
it's important to state two things about the outcome. There is extra motivation for Madrid because um, um, they've lost twice to Barcelona this season
Mm-hmm.
in the league, and so it's important that they win this one because it's going to be very very bad for Ancelotti and the team if Barcelona beats them three times in a row. But like the last one was very embarrassing. I think 4-0 or thereabout.
Yes,
So
four
it was
zero.
very, very embarrassing, and Madrid will not want to be embarrassed again. Secondly, of course, let's remember this is a final. The spirit of other games is different from the spirit of the final. In the Algiers 90 Nations Cup, Algeria beat Nigeria 5-1
In the
in the
group
group
stage.
stages. When
Yeah.
you go to final, now 1-0 Algeria also. At the Atlanta Six Nations Olympics, Brazil beat Nigeria in the
Yes,
group
one
stage.
zero.
When you go to semi-final, Nigeria beat them. Just 2004 here, when Arsenal went on beating, they beat Chelsea three times, twice home and away in the league, in the FA Cup. When you got to Champions League quarter-final, when it was do or die, the same Chelsea eliminated them. So the final has its own spirit. See Liverpool Everton now. Maybe Liverpool can score. They were hoping to score yesterday, just 1-0. So this classical, this final, being a final makes it even more unpredictable. But I know, considering the caliber of players, now our players are fully fit. We have Vinicius back. We have Mbappe also now hitting from a firing. I am confident that Real Madrid is going to win this one because this is final. And for those who think well, for those who say otherwise, life is difficult for the blind. They may not really see it because they don't have the experience of being in finals.
All right.
They
Thank you very
understand
much, Dr.
what
Izu.
when it's final.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much,
Thank you.
Dr. Izu. Just before we go off, we'll go to Comrade Soko just in about 15-20 seconds. Your opinion on this Real Madrid Barcelona El Clasico match, who might actually be your final word on the show. On the El Clasico match, what do you see playing out? And we also want you to just touch on the FA Cup semi-final between Manchester City and Nottingham Forest, and also Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. All of this because of our time in about 20-30
Okay,
seconds. Thank
I
you.
will start. I will start with the FA Cup games between Aston Villa and Crystal Palace. Aston Villa has been really, really good recently. Where I think Rashford's career has been rejuvenated.
Yeah.
He scored yesterday in their Premier League game, and I'm really, really glad that he's beginning to find good form. He was also selected by the English manager Thomas Tuchel, and he also got a game time during the international break. Having said that, I feel that Aston Villa has all it takes to be able to win that particular game. Manchester City, Nottingham, in as much as Nottingham has been really, really good this season, I believe that Manchester City might just edge that particular game because Nottingham Forest is grappling with lots of injury at the moment. So I see Man City overcoming and winning that particular game and progressing to the final. So my prediction is Manchester City, Aston Villa at the FA Cup final. On the Clasico, the reason why some persons will say that the Clasico has lost its touch is with due respect to the caliber of players we have now in both teams, we have seen better. We have seen Ronaldo, we have seen the likes of Messi, we have seen the likes of David Villa, we have seen the likes of Benzema and all that. So in terms of technical ability, these players, the past players, they have it all. But as Mr. Izu rightly said, yeah, Clasico is not just the players. It has a lot to do with city rivalry. It has a lot to do with even nationality, independence movement, secession movement, Barcelona having their own country and all that. So it is just more than football. It is a rivalry between two cities, and with or without the players, that rivalry is going to remain and it's going to have its touch. Going by past records, I am a Madrid fan. In as much as I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm I like Madrid. So going by the records, I see Barcelona actually winning that particular game, but never say never.
I am happy that you said it too.
I try to be very, very realistic.
All right, thank you very
So
much. Thank you very much, Comrade
Thank you very
Soko.
much.
All right.
Thank you very much, Comrade Soko. And you've pitched your thanks with Barcelona.
I love Madrid. I want us to get this straight. I love Madrid.
Comrade Soko is also pitching his tent with Barcelona. I think at this point in time we need to come to the owners of Kamafinga, Kamawo, Vimiji. Okay, so Miss Happiness. So Miss Happiness. So we are talking about your everyday rival in the Spanish La Liga. So what do you see playing out? Your final words in 10 seconds. Miss Happiness, are you there with us? It is a classical fixture. All right, I think you are struggling to get.
I am just relaxed.
Okay, she's
I
back.
am relaxed because
Okay.
this season Barcelona has actually beaten Real Madrid twice, and the first time Barcelona beat Real Madrid, and the second time we actually top our game. And this third time, I feel Barca is going to top their game more. They are not going to relax because we are talking about a Clasico. Yes, many people are saying that the touch and the test of a Clasico has won out. There is something that Hansi Flick is doing. Hansi Flick is trying to build that mentality back again on this player, and we are seeing the result. We are going to play a Clasico final after 11 years. Barca is playing a Clasico final in Copa del Rey with Real Madrid. They are not going to come as babies. They are going to come more stronger, more harder, with the mentality to win that match. So they are not just going to come as if they are playing a league match this time. It is a final they need to win. We won the Super Cup final. We are going to win the Clasico.
All right, thank you very much. I don't think I would be any surprise if she hadn't spoke the way she did, because it has always been a big rivalry. Talking about the Catalonia movement of independence for Barcelona, and you have the Madrid wanting to remain as the capital of Spain itself. So I think in all of this, we should just set our minds, relax back. This evening we have the owners of London playing, and Mr. Raf, please allow me to land. So we have the owners of London playing today, because I tell you without missing word, we are in Abuja.
Ebuka, he didn't mention that. He didn't mention that.
No, we are in Abuja. When you look at the sky is blue, and I can tell you that when you also get to London, nobody
told Bolu that Chelsea first team played the under 21 and they lost by 3 goals to 0.
Hello. I think the network is pretty poor this morning, so I can't really hear what he's saying. So regardless, we are going to be playing Tottenham this evening, and Tottenham, as always, they've always been our boys, and they have always been our boys. But they've been parents
like you're not 21.
No, but they've always been parents to their neighbors in North London all of the time. So we just want to encourage you, sit back, relax, and watch the owners of London do their thing this evening. Back to my uncle.
All right, Bolu. I just hope Tottenham will not pull up a surprising game against Chelsea later today. All right, thank you very much for being part of the show this morning. Thank you to our guest, Raphael Eljaokomo, for always being here in the studio with us on this show. Thank you to Comrade Abraham Soko for finding time to spare and spend your differ and join us virtually. Also, thank you, Miss Happiness. Thank you, Dr. Edesiri Izu, for all joining us on the show this morning. Viewers, here, I think this is where we'll call it a day on today's edition of Now Streaming with a sports special. I remember we're still in this spirit of Lent. Sorry, my co-anchor, I forgot to say thank you for also being part of this edition of the show. Viewers, remember we are still in the mood of Lent. We are still in the Lenten period. So please remember to be sober. Remember to reflect. Remember to repent of all you think is not in accordance with the will of God and in accordance with the commandments of God. And I leave you with this first stanza of this one of my favorite hymn, and it says, "When I survey the wondrous cross on which the Lord of glory died, my richest gain I count but lost, and pour contempt on all my pride." So in all our pride, in all we think we're gaining in political terms, in social terms, or in sports, when we think we have the best players and we think we have the best team, let us always leave and pour contempt on all our pride. So we'll come your way again next time. I remain your anchor Chukwu Ebuka, and I say bye bye.